Hello, welcome back. So I want us to create a mini project to help you to learn about comments, data types, and even numbers. So we are going to create a personal budget calculator. So let's call it personal calculator. So let's use py, which means it's a Python expression. So in this case, we are going to learn about comments, data types, and numbers, Python numbers. So in this case, we will try to enter monthly income, and we list expenses, let's say something like rent, food, and even transport. And the program will be able to calculate the total expenses, remaining savings, and even display a summary. Yeah, so let's start. So the first thing we'll learn about comments. So what are comments? Comments are typically notes for humans. I mean, they're not for the computer. So they help explain what your code is doing. So the first case, what we'll do here we use hash as our comment. So we will call it personal budget calculator. And we'll say this program so it helps users to calculate their monthly budget based on income and expenses. So all these they are actually their comments. So these are the things that the human will be able to read and understand. So let's get the users. So we get the user input for their monthly income. So let's start with the name. So remember, name is a variable. So we tell them enter your name, and to make it easier, let's use comments so that humans can be able to read. So this one is a string. So string data type. So what I mean with string data type, you see this the quotes means this one is a string. So it's a string data type. The data type of this is a string. Okay, so let's go to income. So income, so we use float. Float is a type of data type as well. So in this case, we are using float as our income. So remember, name goes with a string. Of course, a string is, you use the double quotes, and the float is also a type of data type, which will mean income. So income is in terms of numbers, right? Yeah. So once we've collected that, let's get the user's expenses. So we get the user's expenses. So let's start with the first thing, rent. So rent. So here we are trying to tell the user to enter their monthly rent. And remember, rent is in terms of numbers, so we use float. So that's why here we are saying our data type is float. And then the next thing, let's say food. So here we say enter your monthly food expenses. Food also your remember here we're using float to mean number, and float actually just means a floating decimal. Okay, so yeah, let's go to the next thing. Probably what are some of your expenses? We have transport, right? So in transport, we are telling the user to enter their monthly transport expenses. And you can see here, float is our data type. Let's go to the next thing. Actually, I guess that's enough, right? So let's try to calculate their total expenses and savings. So we calculate. So let's try to calculate their total expenses and savings. So the first thing that we'll do here, we will take the total expenses, which is the rent. We have here the rent, the food, and even the transport. So we try to calculate their total expenses. So we will say total expenses equals to rent, food, and transport, which both of them they are data type. Float is the data type because we are using, numbers. Money in terms of number. So and then we say, so we also take their total savings. So savings is equal to whatever you're earning minus the total expense, which is still a float data type. And then from there, let's try to do what? To display a summary. So here we display a summary of the budget. So here we will say print. So remember, print is a way of telling the computer, show this to the user. Okay, so we are trying to tell the computer to tell the user the budget summary. So we try to show the user the budget summary. And so from here, what you're going to do, so we are going to print, name. So here we are telling the user to enter their name so that they can be able to get their total income. So we go say print, should not leave a space. So here is total income. Yeah, so here they'll type their total income, and then total expenses. Yep. And then the last thing that we're going to do here is they'll print their, they will say their remaining savings. So you print savings and we are good to go. So these are our personal calculator. So in this, we've tried to focus on three things. The first one is the comment. You can see here the hash that we use here is a comment. It tries to tell the person what to expect from the code. So we've done the comments. They try to communicate to the user what the code is about or what the code is doing. And then we have we've focused on the string, data type. So when you see quotation in a certain code, it means it's a string data type. And also we focus on the float. So float means actually is a floating number. Like a decimal floating number, something of sort. So the float. And yeah, here is our personal budget calculator. So yeah, you can run it. You can try to run it here, or you can click Control R. Maybe you click Control R. Let's try to clear this first. So yeah, let's click Control R. Yeah, so you see here we have a personal, enter your name. Let me say Lucy. Then you click enter your monthly income. Let me say it's $3,000. Enter your monthly rent. Let's say it's $100. Monthly food expenses. Let's say something like probably 50. Enter your transport expense. Let's say something like maybe 30. And then you get your budget summary. Your name is Lucy. Your total income is 3,000 maybe dollars, and then total expenses is 180. Your total saving is 2,820. Amazing! Wow! So that is our personal budget calculator. Yeah, please follow for more. Yeah, follow my journey of learning Python. We learn together. And also make sure you comment what you think about it as you build something from scratch. See you on the next one.